Last week we did a video on bottles that we will replace when we finish them. This week we're doing the opposite. Hi friends, I'm Laura, this is Troy, we're Baker Drinks, and here's a list of bottles that we finished and we don't plan to replace.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, whether it's flavor, price, availability, or a combination of all three, these bottles just didn't hit us hard enough to where we feel when it's emptied, we had to have another one.
We'll start with one that might upset people. Who knows?
I'm sure a couple of these will.
So we've got the Knob Creek. This is their single barrel select rye. If I'm wanting a rye whiskey, I want a rye whiskey. And I just don't feel like Knob Creek's flavor profile with their rye is really something that I crave.
Yeah, and for me, it's not that it was bad, because that bottle was really good. It's just not memorable.
Yeah.
You know, when I want a whiskey and I'm just gonna have one, I want it to be something that has impact, that I'm gonna taste it and be like, wow, I can't wait to try that one again. And this bottle was just okay. It was nothing special. It was the meh of rye whiskeys.
Yeah. What else do we got?
Okay, so for me, this was allocated for a time. This was the Jeffersons Twin Oak. I think it's a little more available now, but for a while in Oregon, when you went in a store and you asked the guy at the counter, hey, you got anything special in the back, he would pull this bottle out and try to sell it to you for $100. And, you know, we fell for that once. It's how we found out that we're not big Jeffersons fans. This one was not good.
And it was $90.
It
wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. It was just overpriced, limited availability, and just an average flavor.
Yeah, sweet, easy drinking, nothing special. Not $90 worth. So the theme of this video seems to be bottles we like, but they just don't do it for us. So we've got just the normal Angel's Envy. This is the port finished bourbon, their normal base bottle. I like the flavor, it's easy drinking, it's got that flavor of the port, but I'd prefer to spend more money and get one of their single barrels or something else.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of port finished bourbons that are cheaper, that taste as good, if not better. You know, that's a $50 bottle in our area that drank like a $30 bottle. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't anything great. Okay, next for me is this Dickel bourbon, this aged 8 years. So when this bottle came out, I don't know, a year or two ago, the whole whiskey world went crazy for it because, oh my God, there's a Dickel product that doesn't taste like Flintstone vitamins.
Well, it's bourbon, not a Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah, for whatever reason, everybody loved it, and they're like, oh, there's finally a Dickel product I can drink, and I agree with them. This is a Dickel product that I can drink. It's just not memorable. It's not one that I am gonna reach for. We got the bottle, we finished it. You know, you even saw in the Matt Madness tournament last year when Josh from Stuff and Whiskey got eliminated. It was on this bottle. He said Dickel and couldn't come up with the number or whatever. And Matt pointed it out. He's like, see, you guys all say you love that bottle and no one can remember it.
That's a good point.
I couldn't agree more with it.
This next one was all disappointing for me. This is the Yellowstone, just their basic bourbon. Nothing. It's 93 proof. It was a very light color. It was very, super easy to drink. If you want to just chug a whiskey, I guess that would be one to do it. But there's nothing, it's like caramel and water. There's nothing else to it. And it's, I think it was $40. There's some cheaper bottles that I'd prefer over that one.
Yeah, again, just a non-memorable experience with it. This one's going to cause some some upset out there, but you know, it's not the first time you've heard it from us. We said this was on our list of most overhyped of 2023. It's now on our list of bottles we won't replace. It's the Ben Holiday 6-year bottled in bond bourbon. You know, it was a good whiskey. It was, I don't want to say very good, but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
For a small craft distillery, it was pretty good. The transparency on there with all of the RIC information and the rack information and the percents and all that stuff is amazing. Legacy distillers would never put that kind of information on a bottle. But this bottle is $60. I can think of at least 10 or 12 bottled in bond bourbons on our shelves right now, half the price, that drank just as good, if not better. For that price, that alone, for that price, I'm not going to replace that bottle.
We hear great things about Wilderness Trail. We got the Wilderness Trail Rye here, and this one, it's not the price, it's not that kind of availability for this bottle. This is more a flavor thing. I don't think we're Wilderness Trail people. And you know what? There's plenty of people that love it. So more bottles for you guys, because we're just not going to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, we've only had the rye. We've not had the bourbon or the wheated or those offerings. But just based on this alone, I won't replace that rye. If somebody offered me a pour of the bourbon or the wheated, I would try it. But I think Laura's right. I think we're just not Wilderness Trail people, and that's fine. It's more for you, and there's plenty of bottles that we can grab instead.
Exactly.
Boy, here's another one of those whiskey tube darlings. Matt Porter from ADHD came out a couple years back and said that the Tin Cup 10-year was phenomenal, and for the longest time it was impossible to grab these bottles. Now they're everywhere. People are just not into an 84 proof 10-year bottle, and neither am I. You know, it's got decent flavor. At $50, I think there's better options out there. You know, I would take the Eagle Rare 10-year at a higher proof and, you know, $15 cheaper.
I mean, I think it compares more to Buffalo Trace. I think Eagle Rare has more age notes to it. So I'd probably take Buffalo Trace over it. Easy to find and a whole lot cheaper.
All right, what you got next?
So again, same idea. We like this bottle, but there's so many bottles, you can't replace them all. So that's the Old Ezra 7-year-old. This is a barrel strength bourbon, and you know, it's good. If someone poured it for me, I'd be happy to drink it, but I don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot going for that stat-wise. 7 years age stated.
Barrel proof. It's odd to me that it's charcoal mellowed Kentucky straight bourbon, but you know, whatever. It was a good bottle. It's just, like Laura said, in that $40 to $60 price range, there's a lot of competition. And you know, there's other bottles in that price range that I will reach for before that one. For the longest time, I forgot we had that on the shelf. It was hidden. Things were too crammed together. That's why we're trying to decrease our bottles.
I just don't want whiskey that I forget about. This one, I don't know. I have mixed emotions about this one. This is the Four Roses single barrel. So these are good. And I was really into it. This being a tier 6 even. But when we had our first single barrel strength, OESQ,
so good.
I forgot these even existed, you know? And in that 100 proof realm, again, a lot of competition. And this one, I don't think it holds up to the rest of that crowd. You know, it's a $50 bottle.
And then last on the list, these were in no particular order. We don't dislike one more than the other. They're just bottles we won't replace. So we've got the barrel strength Bullet. again, it's not memorable. It doesn't, I tried it plenty of times, enjoyed the pour, never craved it. It was more like, oh, we haven't drank that in a long time. Maybe we should have a pour of it. And then we'd have a pour of it and be like, okay, and then forget about it again.
Maybe it's opened up now.
And that's how the whole bottle went. So we just, there's no reason to replace something that I don't crave.
Yeah, and Laura said that was last on the list. It's not. We got one more. And for
that one.
For this bottle, it kind of stands out from the crowd because for the most part, these were all good whiskey, drinkable whiskey. They were just not memorable. This one's very memorable. This one's very memorable for a bad reason. This is the Chattanooga 111. This just did not hit our palates at all.
It was interesting.
It's weird. It's got a ton of transparency on it. You know, the age, the cooperage, the mash bills, just all the weird malted this and malted that. It's just so weird that it was off-putting to me. It took us a long time to get through this.
That was probably one of our first whiskey bottles.
And we sampled a lot of this out. Because, you know, I don't see the point in keeping a bottle on the shelf that we don't drink and don't like. So there are other people out there that love this. We bought this because people on WhiskeyTube reviewed it and loved it, and that's great for them. It just doesn't hit our palate right. We will never probably buy another Chattanooga product because of our experience with this bottle.
Maybe if we try one first and we enjoy it, but we're afraid to listen to people saying that it's good because this one just was so strange.
Yeah, I mean, this list was kind of sad for me. I don't like to crap on whiskey. People put their heart and souls into all of these bottles and products, and we spent our money on them. This is 12 bottles. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of whiskey. For us to not like and want to continue drinking. So I mean, I get no pleasure in putting this list out there, but I'm just being open with you guys. These are bottles that we've had, we won't replace, and it's because of the reasons we gave.
Yeah. If you like this kind of content and want to see more from us, we're putting out videos every week and live streams most weekends. So please like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you again soon.
Yeah, tell us in the comments what you have purchased that you won't replace. We would love to hear about it and have a conversation.
And the reason why. We like to know the reason why, because it could be flavor, it could be price, it could be anything. Mm-hmm. So thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon. Cheers.